recording, but
Yeah, there we go. We're actually,
all right.
yeah, that's good.
All right. So Kim, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you, Sean?
I'm good. So as you know that we work for the same company, and today we are planning to meet with the Hopkins HMO people, and you are leading the negotiation from our side. So I just wanted to give you some like brief heads up, although you know that I don't usually interact with the negotiations directly, but I will just give you some certain heads up which you can use for your interaction with the Hopkins HMO people. And then if you're able to make a breakthrough, so that's perfect. But if there's some discussions that are required, so feel free to ask me and I can get back to you. So as you know that our product that has come, Profilis, is the first in the market. It's a substance P receptor, and it works for depression. And depression, as you know, it's a very big market. So many people in the US, they really need this particular medicine. And in fact, if you look at the market value of this product, so it really is very huge, and with like a million of people affected with depression. So this particular drug makes a big difference because it doesn't have the typical side effects which were there with the Prozac or with the other drugs. And we are the first in the market. So that's why we have a very good edge that when we negotiate, so we can actually request them to agree to our like offer, because there is no one else they can negotiate with right now. We are the only we're the only company which is providing a drug which has very good efficacy and much reduced side effects. So the
Understood.
first thing that yeah, the first thing that you would require to negotiate with the Hopkins HMO people is about the market share. So they will maybe like the overall right now the antidepressant medications, the business that Hopkins HMO is doing is of $50 million. So I think with this new drug being available, so we can maybe be very aggressive and request for a 60% market share. So they may agree or they may try to reduce it to a lower value, but be very strategic because this 60% is a huge amount, and that is something which we really want to push forward for. And anything that is like less than 20 or 30% market share is something which is not acceptable to us. Then the second thing is about the discount price schedule. It's okay, but as long as they don't introduce the grace period concept, we can still consider it. And with discount pricing, there are a couple of options. One is if there is no grace period, so it could be between 4 to 12%. And if there is a 2-quarter grace period, then it could be between 2 to 8%. And then we will not accept if it is 2-quarter grace period at 6%. So try if you can have, no grace period, and any range between 4 to 12% discount is perfectly okay. Then the third point is about the contract length. So like normally they will try to request for a shorter duration contract, maybe for 2 years, because after a while, some more companies like Merck may come up with some other drugs. So they may try to renegotiate deal with us. So from our side, we should try for 5-year contract, because that way, we have a stable contract, we have a stable marketing, production, and all these things. So we will be perfectly fine with that. So try for a longer duration contract. Then in case of formulary, which means, which medication they will be using antidepressant through the Hopkins HMO. So I think we can request them that exclusive Profilis is being used, and rather than making it dual or open formulary. So exclusive formulary will be the one which we will prefer. And then the last thing is about, out of 50 million. So we should think about maybe 30% of that amount, which is around $20 million. So all in all, I will request that, market share is a very aggressive thing. We don't want to be left behind. The market share is just 20% or 30% of the deal. So we need to be very aggressive about the market share. Then there is one more thing about who handle the marketing. So that is perfectly fine. We can take care of all the things required for marketing, whether it is printing of some information booklets, or maybe giving out some $5 like some amounts like that, or maybe sending out mails or contacting the physicians, because that will directly improve our marketing, our sales. So that is perfectly fine. We can handle it. So all in all, I'm sure that you already are aware about where we are and what we need to do, but try to be very aggressive about the market share. And then the discount quarter, try to skip it at all, or maybe one quarter. But once we have that, discount quarter, those things, then be a bit aggressive about how much discount pricing we are getting at. We will not accept 2 quarters at 6%. But if it's no grace period and then 4 to 12% range of discounts, that is perfectly fine. So, do you have any questions before go ahead and talk with Lee?
Yeah,
Uh,
so I wanted to understand a little bit about your priorities here. So do you mind telling me a little bit about, between the market share, the grace
yep.
period, the contract length, how do you prioritize these things?
Yes. So the thing is that we are not expecting any other parallel company to come up with a similar product for like maybe 1 or 2 years. So within that range, some company may come up. So that's why when they are giving us a grace period, that means that we will not get the profits or not those things, because it's still a grace period. We are still work in progress. So when they say that grace period is required, so from our side, we can accept it or we can decline it. But the market share is very important, like 60% market share. If we are having that kind of market share, that gives a lot of volume or money to us. So all in all, I mean, between these discussions, so maybe the Hopkins HMO are more focused on the 2 quarter discount, and they're okay with the market share. So you have to see how they are planning to do the negotiation. If you see the negotiation is going south, be a bit aggressive, because we know our product and our product is excellent, and it is actually going to be like very good in the market. We already know that this has lots of the side effects are far lesser, and the efficacy is much better. So you
Do you have
can
any data
hammer
on that
down.
efficacy or on those numbers?
Yes, so this is like it's a like substance P drug in comparison to the Prozac and those things. I mean, it's already much better than the previously available drugs, so they already know it. So when you do the negotiation with them, so try to push
Do you have any
on
data
those
to back that up, that claim up, or anything I can leverage that shows that this drug will be more effective than the other drugs?
Yes. So first of all, there are some numbers. One of them is the medications which were currently available. They have been there for last, more than 30 years or something, 30, 40 years since 1987. And they come with like the name of Prozac, Zoloft, Paxil, and the market is of 7 billion worldwide. Now in the US, 17 million people suffer from depression. And then this particular new drug that we have come with, Profilis, it works on substance P, and substance P is a very different mode of action of a drug. And then, as you know, this is already like FDA approved. So those things are already there. And in terms of the efficacy or in terms of side effects, like, some like sexual disorders or some other problems which come with other drugs. So this one doesn't have all those things. And Hopkins HMO, they already are aware about the quality or how good this product is. And then we really just need to sell it to them, and we are not expecting any parallel company to come up within 6 months. It could be in 6 months to 2 years, but as of now there is no such company which is a parallel company. So it's like an exclusive, we're the only one,
Gotcha.
right? Yeah, so like maybe when you speak with them, so try when you speak with Lee, so try to see what are their priorities and what they're trying to achieve in the negotiation, and try to get the best out of the deal. And if there's some questions, you can always come back to me and we can discuss it again.
Okay. And as far as the 5-year contract, you mentioned the 2-year contract. Is that something you'd be willing to do?
Yeah, so we will prefer a longer duration contract, because after 2 years, maybe some other products come up and then we have to reduce the cost, because of course, when there are parallel products available, so we have to price our product competitively. So that is the reason if we have a 2-year contract, then after 2 years, Hopkins HMO will not give us that good deal. But if we are able to establish a 5-year contract, maybe market share is a little bit lesser, maybe some discount pricing, some other things, but still a longer duration contract will be something which will help us going forward,
Okay.
even when the other products come up. Yeah. So, I mean, we can see what their priorities are, and accordingly, we can try.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I've closed all breakout rooms, so Amal should be coming back now.
Okay.
Hello, Amal.
Hey, sorry.
Okay. So I think I'm going to place Manpreet in room 2 now. Sure. So Manpreet, you should be able to join room 2, or maybe he's just going to be away from computer. So we can do our talk now.
Sure.
Nice to
Are
meet
you
you.
guys recording, by the way?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
recording still. Yep.
Perfect.
Nice to meet
Okay.
you.
Can you remind me what role you're playing in
I'm
this situation?
Kim. So I'm the sales rep account manager that's been working with you.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm Lee. I'm the like a pharmacist, PharmD, who's the director of the Hopkins HMO. So
Yeah. So nice to meet you, Lee. As
Good.
you know, we are working today to discuss the new drug that we've been bringing to market, Proflice. As you know, it's an antidepressant that works with substance B and is a state-of-the-art new drug that's going to really help cover your patients and give you more options for your providers and your pharmacists as you kind of grow and improve patient care for those patients that currently are not served by the drugs on the market. So, kind of coming into today, I wanted to see where you were at as far as considerations for this drug and what you were trying to get out of our deal as we move forward here.
Yeah, I mean, we've been looking into the drug you guys are bringing to market. We know a lot of the benefits for antidepressants. From our standpoint, we want to, be able to offer this drug to our customers. We want to have the latest drugs, but for us, it comes down to, we're a big organization and we can't really afford to pay the premium price on this type of drug. So we're hoping to work with you and sort of figure out some middle ground that helps both of us. I did have a few questions about the drug for you. I don't know if you have how much detail you have beyond what was there, but the FDA approval of the drug, is it specific to antidepressants, or are you guys looking to branch out into FDA approval for other medical conditions?
So currently, substance B is only being used for antidepressant, and that's what our FDA approval is in and targeting. At this time, I'm unaware of us branching into other use cases. Is that something that'd be important for you from the drug?
I mean, if it would be interesting to know if down the line, or if it's something in the works, because I know they mentioned it works with anxiety and there's other medical conditions that it has some beneficial effects from. Obviously, FDA approval for those would broaden your market and broaden our ability to offer it for other processes. So I was just wondering if that was something that had been discussed internally within your organization or something you guys were looking into.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to management about that. But as of this time, I think we're really just focusing on the antidepressant market. As you know, there's 17 million people suffering from depression in the US, and we think that's a pretty sizable market to tackle right now with this drug alone.
Mm-hmm. And then have you reached out to any other HMOs at this point, or are we sort of close to the top of the list for you, or you sort of made deals with other people already?
No, so you would be our premier client as far as I know. I know you're the largest in the region, and we really want to kind of dominate this Maryland Atlantic region, and we know that you're the key to doing that. So as far as I know, you're the only one kind of we're in talks with, or at least I'm in talks with right now.
Okay. And then do you have any thoughts on I know there's a few other drugs coming to market in the next year and a half. Any thoughts on these new drugs and how that's going to affect what you guys are offering, or if you've heard anything sort of on the inside in terms of differences between your drug and future drugs by Merck and other companies?
Yeah, so we're definitely aware of that and that 1 to 2 year timeline, like you were saying. As far as we know, I think that our efficacy and our effectiveness clinically is going to be higher than anything they can put out. Again, the drugs that Merck and them have been producing have been around since 1978. And, with those legacy companies, sometimes it can be hard to innovate. So I think the reason we got first market approval is because of how high quality our product is. And I really think that this is going to be the best drug on the market for the foreseeable future as far as antidepressants go.
Okay. Okay. I think those are most of my questions. I guess everything else we can sort of discuss with Manpreet.
Cool. So yeah, what I'm going to do then is just kind of ask you a couple questions. So
Yeah.
first and foremost, I wanted to talk a little bit about market share with our drug. I know you'd already mentioned the other drugs in the market that are legacy. You know, with this new drug coming to market, we really want to make a push. We think that it can be a very effective treatment for essentially anyone with depression, and especially with that substance B compound that'll work on those that traditionally drugs have not worked on. Do you have any ideal market share or idea of how, many of your patients or, percentage of drugs would kind of be going out that would be us in your ideal world?
Yeah, ideally for us, we wouldn't want to put a volume threshold on our deal. I know there's looking through for what we were both provided, there's a couple different options. So ideally we would say no volume threshold. We don't want to avoid any floor or any sort of commitment from that standpoint. But if there's some, if that's sort of a hard stop for you, we can maybe work on something if we can adjust the discount price schedule. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly room to adjust with the discount schedule. As I know, discounts are going to be important to y'all. You buy in a large volume, you just want to make sure that you're getting the best deal at scale. So I think it'd definitely be acceptable. Just so you know where we're coming from, we were hoping to get a 60% market share commitment from you. So again, 60% of the drugs that you'd be prescribing for this condition would hopefully be through us. I think that that's a fair percentage. Honestly, you can still kind of use the other drugs for those other use cases, but that gives us enough confidence that you're actually committing to us and really utilizing this drug to its fullest potential.
So I know there's essentially if we have the same like worksheet here, there's two options. I know option A is no volume threshold with tiers at 15, 30, 45, and 60. Is that what you're looking at as well?
I'm looking at the market share, which is kind of before the discount pricing schedule. That's kind of what I wanted to discuss first, if that's available to you.
What are your, so there's like the general instructions where there's a group worksheet at the bottom where it sort of gives you either option A and option B. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So what is of option A and B, or you want option B is what you're looking at?
Yes, so basically 20 million volume threshold with two tiers at 15, 30, 45, and 60%.
Our preference is obviously option A to avoid the volume threshold and making some sort of commitments. If we were to do the 20 million volume, it would be a stretch for us. Is there anything you could offer us in terms of the discount price schedule at that point?
Well, I was thinking that a fair compromise would be the discount amounts of 4, 6, 8, and 12%, which are actually a bit higher than what our base of 2, 4, 6, 8 would be in exchange for you making that 20 million volume threshold commitment. And again, you do 50 million in sales here, so that 20 million volume isn't even at 60%. It's at 40. So we're really even coming below where we normally would there.
Yeah, if we were gonna go with that market share with $20 million threshold, the only way we could make that work would be if we did the 2-quarter grace period at 6%, with the tiers from 4, 6, 8, 12 on market shares.
Okay.
So that would, if we have to the 20 million, that's literally the only way we can make it work from our standpoint.
At this time, I'm not going to be able to give you a firm yes, but I'm going to work on that for you.
Okay.
Cool. So, for marketing, I know that getting this drug out is going to be important. What did you kind of have in mind, or how did you think you were going to market this once you did do the agreement with us?
Yeah, I know there's sort of this standard education informational sessions that are held for physicians, pharmacists, and patients. We were hoping to involve more customized stuff, some more customized letters and flyers sort of in that package to target each individual group, to make sure that the the drug that you guys are proposing is reaching the right people and that they are aware of its benefits to help our patient population. So in addition to sort of the standard stuff, we wanted something more customizable that would really help us sort of focus on the distribution of the drug and getting it out there.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, we are kind of robust. Marketing is definitely something we specialize in. So, everything from supporting physicians and pharmacists with informational sessions to flyers and letter masters is something we could do. We also offer options such as like custom letters, custom flyers, coupons, and even mailing and printing costs that we would cover. So we offer a lot of services. Generally we would just kind of do the info sessions with the physicians and maybe put up some flyers, but we'd potentially be able to help you out on that front if you didn't have a marketing team or a plan for that, which doesn't sound like you might have at this time.
Yeah, I mean, from our standpoint, the marketing would be up to you guys to market your drug. But we would, if you're going to do that, I'd say getting the customization would probably be important on top of sort of the basic standard stuff that we would do for all our drugs. I think that would really help. We do believe in your drug. And we do want to, help our patients, and has proven benefits, less side effects. So it has a lot of potential to help people.
Okay. And as far as the formulary, I assume this would be an exclusive deal, as we are the only one on the market right now.
We would probably be unable to accept an exclusive deal at this point, just because we know other drugs are coming, to be honest with you, down the market. Ideally, we would do an open formulary. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think there's any way to open would be possible here. Again, we're really the only drug on the market doing this right now. So the substance B blocker, and that's what we're looking for exclusivity on. And again, I think this might come back to contract length. If we are doing a 5-year contract and we don't think it's going to be another year or two for drugs coming to market, I think that exclusivity would be huge for us and really allow us to give you more on other areas, such as marketing and that grace period you were asking about.
I mean, if we do between the two, between formulary status and the terms of the agreement, which is a bigger priority for you guys?
I would say the bigger priority is going to be the exclusivity of the formulary. I think a 2-year term is going to be a stretch, just to be honest with you, but I think that there's no deal done if this is an open formulary.
So if we met in the middle and did a dual, could you come to a 2-year contract with us?
I could consider it. Again, I'm gonna have to talk to management about that because we are doing some concessions here from what I can see. Yeah. But let me talk to them and get back to you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So.
Is Manpreet hanging out?
Manpreet, can you hear us?
Hi Lee, how are you doing today?
Good. Manpreet,
yeah. Let's just do like one quick 3-minute meeting, then we'll all do 3 and we'll be good. I think we'll be good at this point.
Okay, so let me and Kim talk together first, and then we will get back to Lee about your initial discussions.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to throw me in a big breakout room?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that now. Did it ask you to go?
Not yet.
Now or no?
No. Do you want me to just mute and turn my volume?
Just mute.
Just send me a chat so I know when you guys are done. Does that work?
Yep. All right. So
yes, Kim. So how was the discussions?
Yeah, I met with Lee. I think it went pretty well. Some questions that they did have that I wanted to confirm with you on is as far as FDA approval on this drug, is it only going to be the antidepressant for the foreseeable future? Do you have any information on how it could help maybe anxiety or things like that?
Yes, so the drug is already approved as an antidepressant drug, and it's like available in the market directly. And then the FDA approval also talked about that efficacy is better, the onset of action is better, and side effects are also less. And in comparison to other drugs, which are SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, so Propolis, it treats depression as well as chronic pain, migraine, headache, insomnia, and anxiety. And then this drug is going to appeal to millions of patients because they suffer from far lesser
Yeah, so let's just
side
focus
effects.
on that, what you just said. So you said that it, on top of being an antidepressant, it has FDA approval for chronic pain and other things.
Yes,
What other chronic pain as well as
migraine, headache, insomnia, anxiety.
it works for all of those right now, FDA approval.
Yeah.
Okay, because that was something that I didn't know, and I want to make sure that we convey that with Lee. Another thing
Yes.
I want to know is about other HMOs. Are you aware of any other HMOs we're contracting with right now?
So we are still communicating or like sending out messages, but Hopkins HMO is the first one we got to get in touch with. And as you know, they are a big chain and they have a huge market potential. So if we're able to have a deal with them, then if we have an exclusive contract, so that will be excellent. Then we can, like a longer duration. So we just stick with them. And then if we have if they say, oh, we can have a dual, so we can also go to other like service providers, and they can also take up other medications as and when they get approved.
Okay, so I guess where I'm at is, we had to make some concessions in the negotiation. So the first concession is they did not want to make the $20 million minimum order commitment for market share. And if they were to do that, they wanted the grace period along with the 4-6, the better discount pricing. So I guess what we need to decide is, do we want the $20 million commitment, or do we want to offer the grace period? My personal preference is that we offer the grace period on the better discounts, because with the $20 million commitment, I think that gives us a lot of buy-in from them. How do you feel about that?
Yes, I think the 2-quarter grace period we really don't need to, because we are already up to speed. We can start the production and everything. We don't really need that. And the $20 million commitment, that is something which will be in our favor, because we are going to market this drug through them. And if there is no volume commitment, so how are we going to produce how many medications or things like that? But if we have a commitment, so we can jumpstart on production. And that is something which we are really looking forward to, with 60% of market share. So 20 million volume threshold with 60% market share. And then grace period we really don't need, because it's not like we still need to have supply chain people. We still need to have those people. Those things we already have. So we really don't need the grace period, and we need the commitment for the market share also. But in case if they're looking at some discount, so we can give them 4%, 6%, or we can even go high as 12% discount in case they give us a 5-year contract. So we can negotiate between that thing.
So can we give them the grace period with those rates of 4, 6, 8, and 12? I think in order to do the 20 million, they wanted the 4, 6, 8, and 12 discount rates.
Okay, so we can consider if they're very much hell bent on the grace period, so then we can talk about maybe 2-quarter grace period, but we still need 60% market share, and maybe discount rebate we can go for 8%.
Okay.
So that way they have the benefit and we have the benefit also, because we got the market commitment. And then we also have a longer duration contract of 5 years.
Okay. And then they were open to a dual formulary. Would that be okay with, I know you wanted exclusivity, but they wanted the option to find another partner potentially.
Yes, so I think that is where they will look at the prices of the other drugs, which will come in, 1 or 2 years or something. So as of now, even if they do an open contract, so there are no other medications. And after 2 years, if they want to do exclusive, that will, work out better with us. So we can even propose a dual formulary. So that is fine. So we already know that for, 1 or 2 years, they're not going to get any other product. So dual is still fine if they don't want to consider exclusive.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer them a $20 million commitment with 2 months grace, 4, 6, 8, and 12% discount rates, and an 8% for that grace period. And then we're going to do a 5-year contract with a dual formulary, and we're going to handle all the marketing for them. Okay.
Yes, that sounds good.
All right. Let me bring in where it's all work together now to get this done.
Okay.
Hey guys.
Hey, welcome back, Lee. So
Yeah.
I have some good news to you. I brought my manager, Sean, with me here today. To answer some of your previous questions, we actually do have FDA approval to treat anxiety, concussions, and a range of other clinical conditions. So just wanted to let you know that that was something that you were getting with our contract here, was not just antidepressant, but those as well.
So it's officially FDA approved, or those are like off-label uses? I just want to make sure that we're on the
Sean,
same
just to
page.
confirm, chronic pain, migraine, and headaches all have FDA approval.
So the information we know you have FDA approval for depression, like as an antidepressant. I didn't know if the other conditions were more like an off-label use where there were some benefits versus like actual FDA approval.
Yes. So can I just come in, Lee?
Yes.
All right. So the thing is that FDA has already approved the clinical trials of Propolis, and as you know, substance P is not a new thing. It has been discovered since 1930s. But the products were not like that much into medical use. But our company was looking at the drug uses of substance P, Propolis, on that action. And recently we received the FDA approval, and we had extensive, large-scale clinical trials over several things. And it indicated that it has increased efficacy and faster onset and much reduced side effects. And even those side effects which are, from existing drugs like, reduced sexual desire, heightened anxiety and insomnia. So this one has like much lesser side effects. And that is the reason that we are hoping that this is going to replace the current like SSRIs, which are used to treat depression and other conditions.
So you only have FDA approval for antidepressant use then, based on your clinical trials, though. I understand the benefits and that it's for antidepressant, but there's some just, I guess, additional benefits that maybe are not FDA approved. Is that like for insomnia?
Yes. So as of now, we have approved, the FDA has approved all the clinical trials that were going on for Propolis use, and
but specifically for antidepressant, though.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to sort of see if there was anything else you guys are in the pipeline to get FDA approval for other conditions, but maybe we can work on that whenever it happens.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's just table that. I think the antidepressant market deal on its own is enough to get it done.
100%.
Okay, cool. So with that in mind, we do want to come with a contract here today based on what all of us have been talking about. And I just want to hear your feedback on it. This contract, again, you are going to be our first and priority HMO and our largest customer in the region. So huge commitment here from us. We want to do all of the marketing I talked about with you, custom flyers, custom trainings, all of that. So we're really going to be a full force getting this drug out there and making sure your providers and patients really see value in what we're doing here. In addition to that, we are willing to give you the 4, 6, 8, and 12% discount rates. And with that 2-month grace period, so for the first 2 months, you're only going to be paying us 6%. You're going to get a flat 6% discount no matter what you order. However, with that, we do want that $20 million commitment. That's extremely important to us, that you're going to be ordering a minimum of 20 million per order, because that just kind of gives us some predictions with our factories and how we distribute. And we do want a 5-year contract just to make sure that, we lock in these rates that are going to be pretty generous on your end, with that 4, 6, 8, and 12, but, also committing to giving that 20 million per order for 5 years. So I think that on both sides, you're getting the win with the big discount rates as well as the grace, and we're getting the win on the $20 million commitment. And then lastly, we would want to do a formulary on top of that. So just to reiterate, $20 million commitment with grace period of 2 months of 6% discount. 4, 6, 8, and 12 would be those rates on a 5-year contract, and a dual formulary where we cover all the marketing and hope to give you a drug that not only does antidepressants, but many other things to come. any questions or remarks about that deal?
Yeah, I mean the 5-year contract, is there any room to go to a 2-year contract if we're giving you that threshold and coming down to a dual from an open formulary status? I guess that would be our only sticking point right now.
Okay. Sean?
Yes, sir. Just on that thing, like I just want to say that, the 2-year contract is something which we know that we are the only company right now which has a drug. And after 2 years or maybe 1 year, we know that some other companies may come in and then they price their product aggressively. And although we still don't know about the quality of those drugs, maybe how effective they are or something, but we want to have a more stable contract for 5 years. And we are already willing to give discount on that, and that way we can continue to sell the product through your HMO. And so that is the reason we wanted a longer duration contract, because after 2 years, when the other products are available, maybe they are not that good quality, or their side effects are not that lesser, but maybe we are forced to reduce our price or discounts to a much higher level. So that is the reason we wanted to maintain a balance and to have a longer duration contract and to give you some more advantage, like in terms of discount.
Yeah, I mean, if we came to a 5-year contract, we would have to come back and discuss the volume threshold, and we would be more interested in like a no volume threshold. If we did a 2-year contract, I could keep pretty much the rest of the deal the same, but if I think we did a 5-year, we may have to come back and discuss volume threshold again. I know that may be a big sticking point for you guys.
Yes, the only thing is, if we have a no volume threshold, so we are going to pump in millions of dollars into production, but we don't have a commitment on the volume threshold. So I mean, from our standpoint, if you're in our shoes, you can understand how important it is to have a volume.
At that point, we'd giving you a 5-year contract, though. I mean, you'd have a dual formulary with a 5-year contract from us. So I think your threshold, yeah.
Yeah, so how about if we can have an exclusive formulary, and then we can consider no volume threshold, and we can also consider 5-year contract?
We can't do exclusive. Exclusive would be really
I mean,
tough.
for 2 years, 1 or 2 years, there is no other product which is in the market, right?
Yeah.
So even if it's open or even it's dual, it is still exclusive.
I think that our initial proposal is pretty fair. If you want to move to a 2-year, I think we probably get rid of the grace period, honestly.
Yeah.
So I think that that's kind of your choice now, from what I'm hearing from Sean. And what makes sense on both parties is either we get rid of the grace period or we keep it at a 5-year. There would need to be another concession, though, to change the proposal we're making.
Okay, so let me just take a look. Sorry, you said if we went to a 2-year, we would get rid of the grace period and keep the $20 million threshold?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, for 2 years, you're committing $20 million in order.
Yeah, I don't know if that would.
Yeah.
Looking through my criteria here, I don't know if that would hit all our marks. Yeah. Okay, I mean, if you guys really need the 5 deal and can give me the dual and the rest of the deal, I think we can make it work then.
Okay, so just can we reiterate your term one last time?
Yep.
So as far as market share goes, we're going to go with option B.
Mm-hmm.
As far as discount pricing schedule goes, we're going to go with option B again here.
Option A. 2-quarter grace period.
2-quarter grace.
Yes.
Okay. And then we're going to do all of the marketing, which I told you we would.
Yep, and that includes like the customization, all that stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
We're going to be on a dual formula.
Yep.
A 5-year contract.
Yep.
Okay. I think both sides can agree to that deal.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.